There are four kinds of countries in the world: developed, undeveloped, Japan, and Argentina. This quote by Nobel laureate Simon Kuznets captures Argentina's complex reality. Less than a century ago, it was one of the wealthiest nations, growing faster than most and even building subways before Tokyo or Beijing. This prosperity attracted millions of immigrants, about 7 million from the late 1800s to early 1900s, seeking better lives. Even today, Argentina and Brazil are globally admired, mainly for their massive influence in football. Economies aside, they've shaped the world's love for the sport. Geographically, Argentina is vast, 2.78 million square km, making it huge compared to European countries, though still far smaller than Brazil. Despite its size, it has a relatively low population of 45 million. While it has cold mountains, much of it is livable, and like frozen places like Greenland, it borders Chile, Bolivia, Paraguay, Brazil, and Uruguay. Argentina is a federal republic with a presidential system. Buenos Aires, its capital, is not just the biggest city, but also the country's heartbeat. Traveling there is simple. Many countries don't need a visa, though flights often require layovers. Spanish is the official language. There's no such thing as Argentinian. Older generations rarely speak English, but younger Argentinians often do. Spanish came during Spain's colonization in the 1500s, and Argentina only gained independence in the 1800s. In 1976, Argentina went to war with Britain over the Falkland Islands. Though the war ended in British victory, Argentinians still claim the islands, with 3,000 residents identifying as British. It's a sensitive issue, so best not to bring it up or wear an England jersey there. Today's Argentina is far from its golden days. Inflation, poverty, and crime are widespread. Shockingly, prostitution is widespread and overlooked. Half the population lives below the poverty line. Weed is commonly smoked, even in cafes, and authorities seem to turn a blind eye. For many, the only way to succeed is by leaving the country. Football remains a dream and escape route, with stars like Messi or Maradona serving as symbols of hope. The economy heavily depends on agriculture, and Argentina lacks major global brands. With few exports and growing imports, dollars leave the country while inflation worsens. Yet, Argentina is full of contradictions. Inflation exceeds 40%, crime is high, but nightlife in Buenos Aires thrives. Despite crisis, people party, dress well, and enjoy life. Argentine women are famous for being stylish and fun, and many foreign men visit just to meet them. Argentinians are friendly, curious, and often joke around, so if you're sensitive, you might feel out of place. Racism is rare, and the culture is open and progressive. Same-sex marriage has been legal for over a decade. Public displays of affection are normal, and religion is practiced freely. Buenos Aires, in particular, is striking. Its European-style architecture, clean streets, and organized layout make it stand out from other South American cities. Italian and Spanish influence is clear in both food and buildings. Beef, pasta, pizza, and pork dominate their cuisine. Interestingly, Argentina is very relaxed about immigration. Even overstayers aren't deported easily. It's one of the easiest places in the world to gain residency, especially for people fleeing instability. There are upscale areas like Palermo and Belgrano in Buenos Aires, where the rich live in secure high-rises. But even there, people avoid leaving phones or bags out in cafes. Petty theft is common. If you're robbed, don't resist. Many robbers are armed, and justice is often lax. Criminals frequently return to the streets shortly after arrest. Despite this, Buenos Aires has its charm, like the professional dog walkers handling 20 dogs at once. Just like these dogs, Argentinians, too, coexist peacefully. People don't judge your lifestyle or choices. Argentina's drug laws reflect its liberal attitude. Weed is openly rolled and smoked on cafe terraces. Still, women face challenges in relationships, and annual protests call for women's rights and equality. The justice system is widely criticized. Many criminals are released shortly after arrest. Authorities often see them as desperate and non-violent. But this forgiving approach adds to the crime rate. The Argentine peso continues to crash. Just 2 years ago, one USD was 15 pesos. Now it's nearly 1,000. For foreigners with dollars, life is cheap, but locals, especially the elderly, struggle to survive. Homelessness is visible everywhere. Some people prefer life on the streets with state aid rather than paying rent. Nearly 10 million citizens are unemployed or underemployed, many relying on government assistance. Due to a shortage of dollars, Argentina can't import many foreign goods. Most products are local. Luxury items, tech gadgets, or branded goods are rare and, when available, they're extremely overpriced due to taxes. Electronics are among the most expensive in the world here. Avoid buying expensive items in Argentina or Brazil. High-end products like iPhones cost significantly more. Posters for adult events and escort services are common. But meeting people doesn't require attending such events. Dating in Argentina is easy. Even a simple dinner can lead to romance. Expensive gifts aren't expected. Kindness and character matter more. Argentine women are known for their bold fashion. Locals joke that some go hunting dressed in flashy outfits. While unproven, infidelity even with bosses or coworkers is said to be relatively common and accepted. Little chaos, just a little freedom. In Argentina, people are often seen living freely, doing whatever brings them happiness. Same-sex relationships are widely accepted. LGBTQ+ individuals walk confidently and proudly through public spaces. Women can marry women, and both can be listed as mother on their child's ID. In fact, gender isn't even a required field on identification documents. Here, people will often have children before getting married, usually around their 30s, and many wait until their late 30s or even 40s to consider marriage. Having your first child at 35, that's completely normal. The general philosophy in Argentina is simple: party and enjoy life in your 20s, build a career in your 30s, and think about settling down after 35. Tourists, especially from the U.S., flock to Buenos Aires, where they enjoy luxury dining and services at a fraction of what they pay back home. Argentina attracts more international tourists than even Brazil, thanks to its affordability. But Argentina isn't just Buenos Aires. Head south from the capital, and the climate gets colder and windier. Welcome to Ushuaia, one of the southernmost towns in the world, so close to Antarctica, it feels like a different planet. Life there is harsh, basic goods are expensive and hard to access. But the scenery, stunning, seals roam the shores, and the wild feels untouched. Now, go north instead, and you'll find a warmer climate and rural villages that look straight out of an old Western movie. Here, poverty is more visible. While $500 a month might get you a decent life in the capital, some rural families survive on less than $200. Many of these communities are descended from South American indigenous groups or migrants from Bolivia and Paraguay, trying to get by selling handmade crafts and food. Back in Buenos Aires, most people are descendants of Spanish and Italian immigrants who've mixed with the native population over generations. The city feels clean and modern to visitors. Tree-lined streets, well-kept roads, and restaurants filled with happy diners. To the outsider, it may seem like news of Argentina's economic crisis is overblown. But once you live here, you begin to see the cracks: economic struggles, social inequality, and deep systemic issues. Some even believe this imbalance is intentional or political strategy to keep people poor and dependent. Yet despite the hardships, Argentinians continue to go out, dine with friends, and enjoy life even on a tight budget. Eating out is their cultural norm, and the famous siesta, an extended afternoon break, is still a beloved tradition. Argentinians prefer to live in the moment rather than dwell on problems. To encourage spending, the government runs a program called Privilege that reimburses citizens for up to 50% of their travel costs, domestic or international. Sundays are sacred family days. Families gather in parks or restaurants to drink wine, grill meat, and simply be together. Here, wealth isn't something to flaunt. Flashy clothes, expensive cars, those are viewed as foolish because they attract criminals. Modesty is respected. The service sector has its flaws too. If you need a repair or installation, be ready to wait. But one thing stands out: Argentinians are incredibly patriotic. Despite the struggle, they love their country. Family bonds are tight. Extended families often live under the same roof into their 30s or 40s, not just out of love, but due to economic necessity. Inflation and low wages make living independently nearly impossible. One rare upside: cheap fuel. Gas costs just about 50 cents per liter, so cheap that people from Uruguay drive across the border just to fill their tanks. Rent in Buenos Aires averages around $500 a month, In upscale neighborhoods like Palermo, that can rise to $1,000. The family of four spends around $500 to $600 monthly on food. Cooking at home is less common. Eating out is part of daily life. To live comfortably in Buenos Aires, you'd need around $2,000 a month. Now, let's talk about something Argentina is truly famous for: football. Ever wonder where the legend Maradona made his name? Right here at Boca Juniors Stadium, home to one of the most iconic footballers in history. Their biggest rival, River Plate. Matches between these two teams are more than just games, they're full-blown wars. When they play, the city explodes with energy. It feels like the World Cup final. And speaking of the World Cup, remember when Messi brought the trophy home? The streets of Buenos Aires were packed. The Obelisco Square overflowed with more people than most political rallies. Traffic stopped. The city lit up with pride. The Obelisco, built in the 1930s, is Argentina's version of the Eiffel Tower, a national icon. Back to Boca Juniors. From the air, their stadium might not look that impressive. Why? Because it's old and can't be expanded. Why not? Local residents and businesses in the La Boca neighborhood refuse to sell their land, and here's a fun detail: nothing red is allowed inside the stadium. Red and white are River Plate's colors. Boca's rivals, even Coca-Cola, one of their sponsors, can't use red in their ads there. That's how deeply football runs in Argentina. It's more than sport, it's religion. Boca Juniors fans even call themselves the 12th man, believing they're part of the team itself. Beyond football, Argentina's social life is rooted in neighborhood loyalty. Each neighborhood has its own unwritten code. If someone's stealing electricity in your area, you're expected to do the same and keep it quiet. Loyalty runs deep, even when the rules are bent. Another thing Argentinians share: a love for mate, often called tea. Mate is a caffeinated herbal drink that's practically a national obsession. Everyone drinks it, even Messi. The plant grows near the borders of Brazil and Uruguay. It's brewed in a gourd, sipped through a metal straw, and shared among friends. Surprisingly, mate only arrived in Argentina in the 1920s, but it quickly became a cultural staple. After Argentina, the top mate consumers are in Syria, Jordan, and Lebanon. As for food, Argentina's culinary crown jewel is asado, their version of barbecue. If you see asado meat in restaurants abroad, it likely traces back here. Argentina ranks third globally for beef flavor. A prime cut from the cow's back is grilled to perfection and served proudly in Buenos Aires. The legendary restaurant Don Julio has perfected asado. It's been ranked among the top 10 restaurants in the world for 6 years straight. Even Messi eats there. The cattle served are fed high-quality feed produced by Saudi Arabia's Almer Eye Company. Walking through Buenos Aires, you might notice something. Many locals look European. That's because 51% of Argentinians are of Italian descent, and many others are of Spanish or native South American origin. But ask them who they are, and the answer is simple: we're Argentinian. The wealthier classes live along the Tigre Canal, where beautiful homes line the waterfront. The canal weaves through Buenos Aires, crossed by charming bridges, giving the area almost Amsterdam-like vibe. The key difference: this canal is natural, not man-made. Yet just across the tracks, you'll find the slums. Argentina has their sharp class divide. The most dangerous neighborhood in Buenos Aires is Villa Verdi, once similar to Brazil's favelas. It's heavily policed, and visitors are warned not to carry valuables. Electricity is stolen by a makeshift wires strung across buildings. Homes are stacked vertically, with families occupying a floor each, connected only by metal fire escapes. And yet even here you'll meet kind, gentle people, victims of a broken system, stuck with no way out. Still, one thing bridges rich and poor alike: football. Argentina was once one of the wealthiest countries in the world, especially before the 1930s. But since 2001, it has struggled with hyperinflation. Ironically, the descendants of Europeans who once came here seeking prosperity are now trying to leave. In Buenos Aires, black market currency exchange is everywhere. On nearly every corner, you'll hear cambio, cambio, being shouted, offering better rates than the official ones. The US dollar officially equals around 1,000 pesos. But in the black market, it can fetch up to 1,200. Salaries average just $300 to $400 per month. Paying by card gets you the bad rate. Smart tourists bring cash, exchange it on the street, and spend in pesos. But even with the economic mess, Argentinians haven't given up on joy. One of their proudest cultural exports is the tango or passionate dance that began in the slums and rose to international fame. And if dancing isn't your thing, Buenos Aires has one of Latin America's most vibrant nightlife scenes. Even at 3 a.m., clubs are packed. Stylish crowds line up outside, proving that in Argentina, life no matter how hard is meant to be lived. Argentina is colorful, passionate, and full of contradictions. It's affordable, it's beautiful, it's unforgettable. But if you're thinking of moving here to make a living, you might want to think twice. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and support our channel. Until next time, goodbye.